Okay, I'm going to have to try and figure out how to piece these two together as my alarm somehow got set at a strange time to go off. So I'm going to count this one as finished. Like I said, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to complete it. If I don't end up figuring out how to do a mirror image, I most likely will just make this into, or have someone make this into, a pillow-esque type shape that I can just kind of stuff in the boughs on a Christmas tree. This was my very first project as an adult, so this is what I consider as me starting cross stitch. I think I probably did some not little plastic canvas things when I was a child, so I never really considered that cross stitch. But anyway, this is another kit pattern, and I'm having a hard time trying to find where the folder is because I've been working on this for over 2 years. What was killing me on this pattern was all of the back stitch. So like in here, there's a lot of empty, open fabric, showing through the background fabric. But the majority of it is filled in with either full crosses. Most of it is full crosses. There's a few half crosses, but then everything is backstitched. So all the curly cues are backstitched, and these are backstitched, and all those are backstitched. Then of course the leaves and the stems and the rows. So the backstitching on this, by following the directions and waiting till the end, turned this into a 2 3/4 year project, where I think in the future, I think I started this project actually at the top, so I would, kind of maybe do this and then backstitch it and then do that and backstitch it. I don't know, in some way I would have not waited till the end to do all of that. This is such an odd size. I believe it's 4 by 8. So it's going to be a little bit hard for me to find a regular frame for. Again, it's not one I'm real excited about custom framing. So this is just going to kind of sit in my finished pile. It's going to join the items that are on my hanger over here that I'm not quite sure of how I'm going to have them finished. I do love this rose pattern, and not necessarily saying I'm ever going to stitch it again, but I did really enjoy it. This pattern was a joy and a challenge, and this was from kind of one of the first Facebook groups I joined, and this is one that provided a monthly free pattern, and I believe that they've stopped doing that now, but this original pattern was by T.A. Smith Designs, called Haunting Love. The orange fabric was a scrap that I found at a local needlework shop in a discount bin, so I do not know the name of it. It's not Eek because it doesn't have any blue purple in the background, so I'm not quite sure what color it is. The thread is by Threadworks, and it's a silk. It is a variegated, I thought purple, until I started working with it and realized it has more blue tones than purple tones, but I was too far in it to change, so I don't know if the blue on orange makes it Halloween-like or not, but I decided to, the original I think was just stitched with black, one color, so I decided to pick a variegated floss and just kind of run with it. The only difference is that the ghost's eyes were not stitched, and so I found a couple little scraps of glow-in-the-dark and put in the eyes. It doesn't really work, so, but it's, at least they have eyes. So this is a real small project. It's like 3 by 3 or something like that. So because I stitched this on 32 count over 1 thread with the silk, so most likely I'll find someone to help me turn this into an ornament. I would like to start a fall tree, not necessarily a Halloween tree, but it'll have Halloween things and other fall-like accessories on it. Okay, this is a pattern that a great friend of mine purchased, or wanted to purchase, and in order to get it, the local needlework shop had to order 2. Excuse me. And she, knowing that I was a dog lover, just knew that I would enjoy doing this pattern as well. So this is Terrier by Alessandra Adelaide Needleworks. It was a pattern that basically she just said, you know, do it on any fabric you want and any color you want. So this is a scrap fabric from my stash that I do not know the name of, and I don't even think I know the count of. It's probably 28 count. It's a light brown, very slight modeling to it. Don't know why it's kind of showing up pink there in the middle, but it's no pink in the fabric. I think it's just my camera. And I kind of like these negative space or silhouette patterns. They're just a lot of fun. And it took me a little bit longer than I thought, but this, for me, it was a quick stitch. And the thread that I chose is, and I always get the two confused, the wild flowers and the water lilies. So this would be the water lilies, and I believe the color is called Chianti. And when I was looking at the thread, I saw so much brown, so I was like, okay, that'll make a beautiful brown dog. And then as I was stitching with it on the brown fabric, it definitely comes out with the purple tones in with the brown. But I think as an overall piece, with the variegation in the thread, it gives it a little bit additional dimension. One that I probably will have turned into a framed piece at some point. Let's see. Then this is going to be the last one I show today, because this is the last of the recent completed stitches. This is the original pattern, is Trustworthy and True.